right, well, Frank Leboeuf is still with us, but Stevie, of course, I have to come to you first on this one. I know you were on double duty watching this game on our digital, and even you had to admit you were not impressed with what you saw from your boys.
No, there was nothing to be impressed about whatsoever. Yes, we all understand that when teams put 11 men behind the ball and there's no space, well, guess what? You've got to break it down. You know, that is not an excuse. There's a reason that they're putting 11 behind the ball. It's because they're not good enough to come and play.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to break it down. So you can't use, well, they put men behind the ball as an excuse. And unfortunately, there's one guy that Liverpool spent a lot of money on this summer who really was brought in for this type of situation, Mr. Wirtz. I mean, this was the perfect scenario for him to get on the ball in the final third and shows those little passes, those little movements, those little connections, little 1-2s, all the things that he did in the Bundesliga the last couple of years. This was set up for him to show what he's made of.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he didn't turn up again. And that has to be a concern. But the one thing I do want to say, though, the goal itself, right? Now, it is fortunate, but Hannibal has let down his Burnley team because almost to a man, they defended for their lives. They had a great shape. They backed each other up. They made a challenge when it was needed, to the point that Dubravka only had one real save to make from a Szoboszlai shot from 25 yards. And Hannibal comes on, and when you're a kid and you're told to keep your eye on the ball and stay strong and get yourself as big as you can without sticking your arms out, he didn't do that. He took the coward's way out, he spun round, turned away from it, and when you do that, your arms automatically come up. So Hannibal has let his team down here. Yes, it's lucky that it hits his arm, but it's actually not. Hannibal's actually put himself in a position where his team could lose a penalty, and they did, and they've lost. They've certainly lost a point, but in the end, they lost 3.
Frank, what about you? Of course, Liverpool got the job done in the end, but are you just as unimpressed as Stevie was with the Reds?
Yes, I'm wondering if they can keep like that, being so lucky and win like they won the 4 games in the last 10 minutes every time. And but I mean, I wouldn't be how would you say that, hard on Liverpool in a way that I found some players like Gravenberch very interesting. I loved what he did during the game and the way he was playing. I think you have to congratulate Burnley and the way they played and they defended, and they were unfortunate with that penalty. Now we know forward players, and maybe Ali can witness that, when they are in the last third, they have the tendency to avoid being hit in the head, you know, because they are mostly handsome people, and like us defenders, and we are ready to face the ball. They like to turn their face to avoid that, and it's what happened to Hannibal Mejbri, where the reflex is to avoid being hit in the head. It's a big mistake. It's a real big mistake, but it's a bad reflex from somebody who is not used to be in that position, in fact. But you know what? The luck of the winners exists. And when you keep on winning every time, like Szoboszlai against Arsenal, scoring a late goal, like today, the penalty with Salah, it says something about a team. And instead of being too critical, I want to say that it may be a way to win the league, to maybe sometimes suffer, not being good, but get the 3 points.
Ale, with the money that Liverpool have spent this summer, the names on that pitch, the quality that you expect, especially looking at Mo Salah, who was pretty quiet for most of the game, only that one shot, which was the penalty, and I believe he had lost possession about 15 times. Any concerns about the big man there?
Well, I was about to say that, and while Stevie is bringing up his frustrations with Florian Wirtz and that you expect in this sort of matches for him to be a difference maker, the point I was going to bring up is that he wasn't the only one. You think about how slow and predictable the possession of Liverpool was, how deliberate it was, especially in the first half. Second half was slightly better. And I think about a guy like Mo Salah, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that he at least 5 or 6 times when he got himself in a position to get a ball across or find a final pass, he hit the ball either straight to the goalkeeper or straight out of bounds. Now, my point would be, and my question really to Stevie, who would be the source of knowledge on this, is Mo Salah right now at this point in his career, is he just untouchable at Liverpool? Can he not be brought out of the game? Because based upon what we saw today, and I'm saying this knowing full well that he scored the penalty and is the game winner and so on and so forth. But on the balance of the performance, we can talk about Florian Wirtz and how frustrating he might have been today. Mo Salah was just as frustrating, if not more.
Right now, the answer to that question is yes.
He's untouchable.
Well, right now, yes. I mean, you know, if you need a goal to win the game, and for the past 8 years, the one guy who has come up with it time after time after time.
Including today.
Including today. and this is not the first time.
But without needing the penalty.
This is not the first time Mo Salah has played like this. Mo Salah, in many games, is kind of peripheral for a lot of it. But then you go on your newspaper or your text or whatever it is, and it's 1-0, and guess who scored the goal? So, to answer your question, Ali, right now, he is. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, right now, if somebody said to me, who do you want to take that penalty? I'm going straight to Mo Salah. So, yeah, right now, yes.
Now, the reason I bring up the question is because part of our conversation with all the signings that you just mentioned, there's going to be some rotation. There's going to be some decisions to be made on. So how long do you go with Florian Wirtz playing below the standard of expectation? Or how long do you go with Mo Salah hitting the ball straight out of bounds? And do those minutes become diminished if indeed there's an opportunity to make changes? I understand where you're coming from with Mo Salah, that right now he's untouchable. But I do think that the performance, not only of Salah and Wirtz, just overall in the attacking third, has to elevate and has to come up a level or two when it comes to Liverpool. We're expecting a whole lot from this team, but I think they should expect a whole lot more out of themselves. They were fortunate to win this game. They did not create enough, regardless of what Mo Salah did or didn't do, Wirtz did or didn't do. They just didn't create enough. Dubravka is not coming up with saves left and right. That is the part that I would be concerned. Now, overall, I would say if indeed you want to be positive about this, we ain't playing great, but we're perfect.
Yeah.
At some point, this team is going to get it right. And when they get themselves right, then it's a different conversation.
Frank, what do you make of what the boys were saying about Mo Salah and him being untouchable at Liverpool, but should we equally have as many concerns about him?
I mean, it's always been like that, and Stevie mentioned that. You know, I never seen Mo Salah being like for 10 months consistent. But when he's on the field and he's on fire, he's unstoppable, and it's why he's been named one of the most fantastic players in the world, because his consistency is to see how many goals he scored and how much a game changer he has been. That's that. And last year, we were wondering, should he stay, should he go, because maybe it won't be the same next season. That's always a wonder. But I think Arne Slot want to keep on putting him on, because he knows that at a certain point he's going to wake up. And he's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's what I wish for Liverpool. It's what I wish for Mo Salah. But it's true that if he carries on like that for let's say 4 or 5 other games, the question will come, because, as Ali said, you have players coming. Isaac is going to start playing. The question will be for Gakpo, Ekitike, where they're going to play. Wirtz, if he's not good like he is right now, that's going to be a big question marks for Arne Slot. But right now, you have to trust. I think he had a new contract, big money. He's the legend of Liverpool. He has to stay. It's impossible to move him up. But if he carries on like that, yes, of course, that's going to be a possibility.